back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long.
And welcome back to the show. This is Boomer Life, and we're talking about something that is affecting a lot of boomers as they're getting older and they're realizing that maybe the house they had with their children for many decades is not suitable for them any longer. One family member's lifestyle is encumbered by health issues, and you have to make a change. And that's where you have projects that have the ability to have a continuum of lifestyle. We're speaking with Don Ho, the president of ElementLifestyle Retirement, and his daughter Candy Ho. She's the director and vice president of marketing and corporate relations. How is it working together as a father-daughter dynamic?
Well, we have been working together since young days anyways.
I would say since I was 5 years old. I've been part of all his meetings.
She was always part of my business.
Yeah?
She walked the sites when I was doing developments, and she got involved in the design of landscaping and so on. So when she talked to her school friends at 5 years old, she talked about landscaping.
No, actually, when you came, you started off truly with nothing, and it was like insurance brokering and knocking door to door, and I knocked doors with him, and everybody thought it was so cute.
On our neighbors.
So the dynamic is fantastic because I have the utmost respect for this incredible man.
So did you know it was in your blood, the concrete and the wood and the landscaping? Did you know even from then that you were going to do this?
No,
or did you think I'm going to go and get a business degree and do something else?
No, I actually got into medicine.
Oh, did you?
I got into medicine, but at the same time, as I was doing research at St. Paul's Hospital, he was doing the retirement communities, and I had been volunteering through my university years and developed a really special bond with a lot of the residents. They were so sweet. One guy, before he passed on, gave him his entire lifetime collection of music books to me, and that was so touching. And then another lady, she moved in being a very much an introvert because she had grown accustomed to living at home by herself and wasn't used to socializing anymore. But then when she needed the care or the assistance, she moved into one of our communities, and she was just hiding in her room a lot. And I went there volunteering and kind of being the companion, and she knit me sweaters. She gave me little slippers.
So this idea that we've had in our society for many years of putting seniors in a facility and being forgotten, this really gets at you, right?
Definitely, yes.
So what you want to change that?
Yeah, for sure. Because I'll just say again, my parents are amazing parents, and they're just one example of the seniors out there who have been through so many incredible hardships. A lot of them have been through war and famine, and they live in, with just barely any security. Shelter and food is an issue for them. So they live through life really sacrificing, trying to build up security and save, and always for the future generation. And they give their entire lives to us and cultivate our values and our skills. And then now, when earlier you mentioned that it's unfortunate that it seems like seniors get forgotten, and more than just forgotten, I think a lot of them feel so bad about we're burdening society, everybody needs to take care of us. But it's so not true. Just by being them in their example of resilience and all the stories that they have to share, if they were ever given that opportunity to share, they have so much to give and pass on forever.
So this new development, the Opal by Element at King Edward and Cambie, is not online yet. We're talking about a project that's going to be coming, because I walk my dog by there every day. I know the block intimately. King Edward and Cambie, kitty corner to the Canada Line station there. So what is the timeline for bringing this project online? Obviously, you haven't even gone on the demolition stage yet. But
we're going on very soon, though. Yeah. Within the next 2 or 3 months, we'll be demolishing, and then from beginning of foundation to opening is about 24-month process.
That's pretty quick.
So
2 years.
2019, early 2019 is what we really expect it to be.
Now, this is a project where you have 3 buildings connected by the ground level and subground, like subterranean, right? So you can go in between the buildings. And you mentioned at the core, the center one is the one where you have the most care, right?
The westernmost and the middle building on the second level is care, 30 units of care.
Now building that is a very special thing to do, other than just building. People build condominium buildings. That's simple to do. Building, extended care and building facilities for people who need full-time care is quite different. So how do you go about that? What is it that you do in those? Is there more space, access? What do those units look like? Are they different?
Oh yes, naturally. It's definitely quite unique a building that it involves a lot of planning because you have to comply with the government regulations to operate a seniors complex care.
And then you have also places for first responders to come if they need, like ambulance, that sort of thing.
24 hours.
24-hour nursing on call and so on. All of these were part of what we designed into the whole building or community, we call it.
So that is a segment of it, right? So you have so. What is the average age of somebody that goes into these sorts of facilities? Because, you said you have to be 55 and older. I'm not far away from that, and I'm not moving into, anytime soon, right? So what is the average age?
So this is very interesting. In all the other retirement residences, the average age really is 87. And that's what it has been in the past for us. Wow. But because of this new model that I am really bringing on the intergenerational concept in all aspects of it, so far, we launched sales about 2 weeks ago, and I've had about 25% of the units that are sellable already sold, and out of those, a majority are actually around 60. I have one 60, his wife is early 50s, and I have my dentist and friend who's 53, purchased for his parents, but is fully planning to also have a unit for himself, and so for sure bringing down that average age. Again, the retirement stage of life is not necessarily about aging, but getting in there when you're totally healthy and vibrant and enjoying
building
that
a community,
lifestyle.
right? Yeah.
And then just having the sense of peace that when you do need more assistance, it's right there. You don't need to move again.
So is this a phenomenon we're seeing? People have made quite a bit of money on their fully detached homes, and they've sold those and they're downsizing, and they're thinking, well, if we're going to downsize, we might as well downsize once instead of getting a condominium for 10 or 15 years and then having to go into extended care. They just do it once, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a hassle even for 22-year-olds. Yeah.
So that's what you're seeing with younger people saying, in their 50s and 60s. I call them young because you said 87. That's quite a bit older.
That's true.
So they're downsizing and just doing it the one time.
Yeah. For me these days, looking at him, he's 74. I think he's younger than me. His energy. So to me, old is 100 plus.
So we're seeing this also in, even with fully detached homes, people are saying, I want grandma and grandpa close. They build them a little coach house at the back by the laneway, right? And so this phenomenon is spreading, it seems to me, because my heritage is British, right? And that was like the old school, you move out, the grandparents live on their own, and then they go maybe to extended care later. But it's very separate. This multi-generational living, it really depends on cultures. We had in Canada, we had the waves of the Italians and the Greeks, and we had South Asian and Asian. It's all
very family oriented.
It's very family oriented, and that sort of lifestyle of having the grandparents and the grandkids and everybody living either in one home or nearby is something that was kind of foreign to me. But now that I've lived seeing that in the city, it seems that it makes sense. You have all of that wisdom and care there close by, right?
Yes. Yeah. I want to let you talk about that, how it feels for you to have us around every day, the effort that you and Mom go to put us together every day.
Yes. Definitely, it is something that we look forward to, having the kids coming up at 6 o'clock. Even now, they come to our home at 6 o'clock, and then we start to hear all the laughter and the kids running around, and then we know that, hey, this is family time again.
Yeah, but it's good. They go home with their mom and dad, and they close the door and it's quiet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we have normally every day we have 2 hours of a family time together, and that's the time that we get our blood pressure higher just because we are more excited to play with the grandkids.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Now, the reason I bring it up, because that's really what you're trying to do here, right?
Yes, yeah. And that was the idea of the private function room. Actually, my sister came up with that idea that, we hang around our dinner table and some people just eat and leave the table.
Well, the kids do, right? They eat and then they run around.
No, we actually do hang out. Well, they take a longer time to eat, the kids. but even the adults will stay until all the kids are finished, and it's like 1.5 or 2 hours, and we're all chatting about stuff and life and laughing and goofing, and that's a pretty special time. And you think about, again, like at Opal, why we have that private function room with not just the dining table, but also the living room setup. It's for when the adults are chatting 3 or 4 hours of meaningful conversation. We don't want to be feeling too conscious that they're affecting other people around or that the kids are getting bored. And so that living room setup with the board games and whatever it is that will keep the kids also interested. Yeah.
I can totally see that.
The dynamic.
But now, what about somebody that says, "Oh, this sounds," but maybe they just want peace and quiet, right? So you're going to have different sort of expectations of retirement living. Some people want the solitude and the quiet, and some people want lots of kids around.
Yes.
So that's, I guess, it all comes into the design. Right?
Yes, and that's like we have a wellness spa area that is designed for people who really like that soothing and calm, because they're super active people like my dad who can exercise an hour every morning on elliptical machines. And then there's very gentle, quiet, like my mom, that like they really grounding and nourishing spiritual types of exercise like yoga and Tai Chi. So our wellness spa, other than having the exercise room with Himalayan backlit rock salt walls, we have the infrared sauna with oxygenating machine, and then the jacuzzi, experiential rain shower, and all that stuff is to help them decompress and be quiet and calm, and also having health benefits of everything that's put into the spa.
See, that's my speed. That's
my speed too. I need it. I'm actually super high energy, and I need that to root and get grounded. So everything.
Bring it down.
A little bit for everybody. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We're speaking with Don Ho, president of ElementLifestyle Retirement, and his daughter Candy, director and vice president of marketing and corporate relations, about their new project called Opal by Element. That's the corner of Cambie and King Edward, right on the corridor that's being developed, and a lot of condominiums going in there and retail. But this is a special corner that's going to have this continuum of lifestyle for all different ages. We'll talk more about it next on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.